Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. And if you're watching this right now, you've been born. You're out of the womb and alive. So if you're pro-life, your reason is pretty obvious.
But feeling the Holy Ghost is, that means you're speaking in tongues.
And if you're pro-choice and you're watching this, some would say you're a hypocrite. Yeah, you're alive, but you want to kill a baby, huh? And we're off. Now, no fetus is viable until 20 to 24 weeks. In fact, the youngest fetus ever to survive was 21 weeks. My opinion is it's not a baby until it can survive outside the womb. Your opinion may be it's a baby at conception, and you would be backed up by, absolutely nothing. Not science, not the majority of America, not even the Bible backs you up. You're what we would call wrong. Life is hard, and I still have trouble being a viable fetus to this day, and I'm 2,964 weeks. But none of that matters, because whatever you believe, whether you're part of the minority or the majority opinion, abortion is now illegal in 15 to 25 states. Thanks to these guys. This is Coke Pubic, I Like Beer, a guy who steals napkins from restaurants, the assistant principal, and any crusty butt plug. Yeah, that's how I pronounce her name. They voted to kill Roe versus Wade, a precedent that was established 54 years ago that was reaffirmed multiple times, reestablished a settled law over and over, and they all agreed, at least at their confirmation hearings, that it was settled law.
The courts in general should follow their past precedents.
Again, I would tell you that Roe versus Wade, decided in 1973, it is a precedent of the United States Supreme Court. It was reaffirmed in Casey in 1992.
And it has been reaffirmed many times over the past 45 years.
You agree with Justice Scalia's view that Roe was wrongly decided?
I can't pre-commit or say, yes, I'm going in with some agenda, because I'm not. I don't have any agenda.
Important things to keep in mind about Roe v. Wade is that I still like beer.
But who better to commit perjury than a judge?
I deny each and every single allegation against me today.
But all the minutiae aside, all medical, scientific proof and evidence-based arguments aside, the Supreme Court voted to take the privacy and body autonomy rights from 1/2 of the American population. Imagine that all women now can have their medical records checked, be interviewed, and criminally charged if they have a miscarriage. So if the Supreme Court can decide to send abortion back to the states and let laws exist where they can force you to do what they want with your body, and you're fine with that, then can you do me a favor and put on your fucking mask? Because the court also ruled that the government didn't have the right to protect life by mandating masks and vaccines, so people didn't die. The polls show that between 63 and 80% of Americans think that abortion should be legal, that in a country founded on freedom, except for that slavery thing, that most people think we should all be free to do what we want to do with our own bodies, within reason. I don't know what this is. Some say that Democrats want abortions to be legal up until birth. First of all, that would not be abortion. That would be murder. And under the law, I don't believe in that. I think abortion should be legal up to the fetus is 5 years old. But then again, I fly a lot. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Little bastard just kicking your seat over and over. And his mom's not even trying to stop him. God!
He wants the money, what you give him.
Yeah!
Hey everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. Good morning. With me as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Hylinder.
There could be only one.
There can only be one. So we wrote our last Armageddon Update, and then abortion, they passed, they killed the right to abortion federally last week, so we get to talk about it. So I did a Armageddon Update about it.
The leak was true.
It's weird. Was the leak just a stealthy way to say, here's what we're doing, get ready? So by the time it happened, we had toned it down?
Right, but then we didn't get ready.
Beard off. What the fuck?
We're noticing all.
I didn't even look. I probably
it's still
have,
here. I just tried.
Wow, you look about 10 years
Dude,
younger.
You look like 10 years younger. I'm like, who?
That's really
when did Jesse
weird.
from Breaking Bad co-host the podcast?
What's sad about that is we came in so fast because That's what we do.
I'm like, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him?
What happened to your?
My God!
I've been talking to him, and I have not seen it yet, which means I've been looking down the whole time. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's really sorry. I'm a bad friend.
It's almost like Christmas.
You're a better friend.
It's almost like Christmas is over because.
Because Santa's gone.
Yeah, right. You had the thing.
You've lost about 10 years.
Give it a week.
You'll look 70.
I shaved this morning.
You look like Jesse from Breaking Bad, doesn't he?
Yes. Could we please, ladies, we'd like a review of the Highlander's beard removal.
Dude.
Don't forget, he can butter baste
What made you go ahead and do that? You aborted your beard.
The last episode, I was like, God, I look like a fucking hobo.
You look at yourself when you edit.
Like, this is just...
Yeah, that's true. You look like, that's valid.
Yeah, totally you did.
We're not even going to argue. Thank God
You've gone from hobo to hipster in 1 week.
When you can go past one of the homeless encampments that are now dotting North Hollywood and people go, sup?
Yeah. He's got, that one's got
a car. All right. So, wow, you surprised all of us. That was good. That was real time. Noticing. So, abortion. Basically, Clarence Thomas said in 1993 that the liberals have made his life miserable for 43 years or 42 years. Now he's going to make their lives miserable.
And how did he go into detail on how the liberals have made his life
By
miserable?
credibly accusing him of sexual assault. Yeah. By Anita Hill, who testified.
Who drug his ass through basically the Senate confirmation hearings.
He got away with it, but as they do, that seems to be a trend.
I feel like that was only about 2 years, not, what did he say, 30 to 40 years?
Yeah,
42 or something. Maybe he just meant in general.
But right there, isn't that phrase in 1993? That's not. You don't want a Supreme Court justice that is living for vengeance.
Yeah, who wants
revenge.
That's
how I live, and it doesn't pay off.
It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be impartial, just a judge,
right?
Not have some weird
highest court in the land, impartial. Right.
Have an agenda. Clearly, they have an agenda.
Yeah,
right. Political. It's clearly political.
Yeah,
it's not just like here's what the facts.
Well, I called them all out in the Armageddon update, but you see, you got Alito, who just looks like your assistant principal, who made everybody hated, and then you've got Gorsuch, who looks like the CEO that basically screwed over his company, and I don't know what happened. We just went bankrupt. Yet I'm gonna get my yacht and I'm out. And then you got I like beer, and I like beer. And then you got pubic coke. That was what he got in trouble for.
Oh, and it's clearly
one of the things that he would say sexual stuff to all the time.
He said his,
and he was like, "Hey man, there's a pubic on my Coke can. I wonder how that happened."
I thought he said that his wiener was the size of a Coke can.
He did that too.
Oh, I like saying wiener. That's what I'm going to call it from now on.
I wish doctors would do that. All right, let's see your boobies.
Turning off. Let's look at your wiener.
And then giggles like
exactly.
we do.
We got to check your dirt star today. Come on, bend it up. Yeah. What?
That would be hiney hole. You went way.
I went darker. Right.
You went way darker. This doctor is less creepy.
So you're having issues with your hiney hole. Well, we've checked your boobies and your hootie ha, and you seem to be fine.
Let me hold your wiener.
Yeah.
And cough. I would go to that doctor. So many doctors are so creepy, but I would go to that doctor.
What if he was
Dirt
like
Star doctor? I would not go to. And thank you for that visual that I would prefer not to think about. That's gross. You're on timeout.
No gloves.
You're both on timeout. Don't even start.
Just wearing a t-shirt.
Both of you, just let it go now.
So I tried to see how many times Roe was reaffirmed, and it's like 7 or 8 times it was reaffirmed over 54 years.
Yeah,
or something like that. So my question is,
underneath your 14th Amendment, constitutional rights to privacy.
Mm-hmm. But doesn't it violate HIPAA laws too? That they have to know.
Well, that's privacy. Here's something I found interesting. I had been reading about Israel, so
as you do,
the motherland,
right?
Right,
exactly.
The people,
birth of a lot of religion and
maybe
zealots.
A lot of these religious zealots should look to. And abortion is actually free there. But in response to our ruling, which the country's health minister in Israel said has, quote, set back women's rights by 100 years.
I'm sorry, the Jews are like, whoa,
Yep.
you're going too far. Look how religious we are, and then you're doing this? Not good.
On Monday, they approved approved by an overwhelming majority in the parliamentary committee to grant women access to abortion pills through Israel's universal health system, and will exempt women from appearing before a special committee whose approval has been required for decades for the termination.
This is the group that invented cutting the tips of penises off.
Yeah, and they're like, hey, too far.
Whoa,
and they're
whoa,
like,
whoa.
hey, you guys this is way too much. Now, we will hack the end of a penis off when it's a baby.
That is pretty
Maybe that's
awful.
why they approve abortion, because like they know it's coming. Yeah, let's get rid of it. We don't want, because none of us like doing it. Even the Moyles are like, we don't like doing this at all.
Everyone
By the way,
that-
it's in the book though. I don't like the book myself.
You
I
know,
gotta
when
do
you,
it.
when you go to like
It's in
a
the
self,
manual.
Yeah, I gotta do it.
like self-help seminars, you know, they always tell you identify your earliest trauma.
Yeah.
That has to be every male's, but they don't
Some guys
remember
flash
it.
him back to birth. Well, I was about 2 weeks old, and they cut the end of my penis off. I remember that. That would change everything. The religion would be like, we need to rewrite the Torah or whatever, the little Quran, or Torah, whatever. I'm so not religious.
But thank you. I was like, what just
The
happened?
Torah. That's
my
the
dad,
Torah. You
my
can't-
dad literally got circumcised when he was 69. If you want to hear a joke about that, go watch Alpha Chick, now available on Amazon Prime, and please leave me a review. It helps.
That's great. If he's a full-grown adult, he can decide to do what he wants with his body.
Yep. And
Not as a baby, though.
He and my stepmother decided to tell me. I was visiting. He was going to have heart surgery, and he decided to throw that in. And
show you.
And I had always
No, he did.
Look at my cut wiener.
It
I
left
don't
a
know.
scar.
I don't know that I ever knew that he was uncircumcised. He was a.
How would you? Why would you? Oh, you're from the South.
No, just that my mother just said, yeah, I
Stuff.
guess my mom did tell me when my mom did tell me when I was little. I was 4 or 5. My mom told us everything. My mom was you.
My dad. No, it was my dad.
Where you're just like, why are you so honest? Please, just lie sometimes. Lie to me.
Can you smooth it over a little
So
bit
I
for me?
did
I'm
know
a
that
child.
my whole life. I tried not to think about it. But then when I went to visit him, he and my stepmother kind of sat down to tell me, which I didn't need to know, that he had been circumcised. But of course, I am my mother. And so I said, why? What happened? And my dad just goes,
logical question.
You don't need to know. So I don't know why an adult man would need to get like an emergency.
We're not talking about this as men. We would know. We would have a
Do you know?
Yes, but I'm not. There's no reason
You
to talk
do?
about it here. Yes.
Do you know
Why men
why
would...
a man would need like an emergency circumcision at 69? My dad was a home birth. Rural Georgia.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't
know.
know.
We're getting way deep into the woods and some shit. I don't
we're
wanna know
talking about genital, some sort of mutilation.
I don't want to know about that. Your dad was home birth.
There is a whole movement about female genital mutilation,
Yeah.
you know, because some countries still do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But wouldn't this fall under that
Right.
for males? It's weird how we accept that. Usually women are getting the shit into the stick. I mean, not usually.
All
Always.
the time, yeah.
But I'm with you guys on this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm with you. This would qualify as genital mutilation.
Yes, I would guess so.
And
But
yet
isn't it weird how you're right? Like there's so many male versus female things that when men were like, yeah, no, okay. Like men are horrible, and yet they get away with it all the time.
Speaking of double-edged sword.
Yeah. Oh wow! All right, nice.
Okay.
Boom. Boom. All right, it was good. Saying. They use a snipper on the women in Africa. They snip.
You mean scissors?
They snip off the pleasure part.
Why?
Because women can't have pleasure because it's not
Like
okay for women to have pleasure.
That you called it the pleasure part.
Hey, I don't want to say.
Don't say it. It's fine.
Yeah, don't
What
say
would
it.
a
I could
doctor?
say, well, here's what would happen. Well, firstly, the vagina is not a single entity. It's comprised of many parts.
Oh.
One of those parts, which I've never seen, it's a legend,
It's
called
a village.
clitoris. I don't know. I think this is a big thing that no one's ever really seen. It's like the clitoris is like the let's say the abominable snowman or something like a Bigfoot. Yeah, the big clitoris. We're all looking for that. There's some out of focus pictures of it that people claim to be a clitoris. I think it looks like a grape. I think someone put a grape on their tummy, and that's what it looks like, supposedly. So
More like a raisin.
I was going to say grape. He hasn't even seen blurry pictures of it. You're lying, Dennis. You're lying.
she's a big girl.
No. Like, oh, the girl in the picture?
Yeah, she's a big girl.
Do the pleasure parts get bigger when the people get bigger?
The word is engorged, I believe. Things you're engorged.
That's another word I don't like.
Yeah, right. This is not a word, moist engorgement.
No. Oh, there's a study done. I'm not the only one that hates that M word, that like 63% of people also hate that word.
Yeah.
So I'm not
What do they
alone.
call it when a word sounds like what it is?
Onomatopoeia.
Yeah, that's it. It's very much that. It hits your brain. You're like, ugh.
Onomatopoeia is the most fun word to say ever. Everybody should say it at home. It's awesome.
Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. Gotta say it.
What is wrong with him?
We're trying to deal with the subject. So I looked up what a fetus looks like. So no viable baby has ever lived below 20 weeks. The longest, the only fetus that survived was one that's 21 weeks is the limit. So, and then Ben Glebe said something that I think we talked about it before. He said, if you can freeze it, it's not a human life. If you can freeze it and then reanimate it later, it's not a baby.
Well, we've addressed all of these issues, right? It was settled years ago,
right?
And it's been reaffirmed time and again.
Yep.
And the majority of the country agrees.
Yeah, between 63 and 80%.
But the Supreme Court wants to go the other way, wants to go the religious way and undo. Like they just undid like 5 massive.
Well, here's my point, and I've been saying this. Everyone keeps talking about the minutia of it. Oh, let's talk about the ectopic pregnancies. What if a 12-year-old gets raped by her dad, and then he gets... Hey, the Supreme Court just took away the privacy and body autonomy rights to half of the American population. They took your... Now imagine that. Imagine dudes going, oh, you know why? We can federally... Had they gone the other way, we're going to take everybody's guns away. You can't have the right to a gun anymore.
Right.
People would lose their mind.
Right.
Men, you can't masturbate anymore. You can't... And if you do, we're going to do a...
Do you have a constitutional right to that?
To masturbation? No, we do not. Although I guess it would fall under the Second Amendment, right to bear arms. Boom.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a derringer, but it's there.
Don't say that. That's what Dennis would say.
Yeah, it's concealed. Let's
single
just carry concealed. Even when I'm naked, it's still concealed. I call it my holster. Some people call it a vagina. I had some medical issues.
What were his medical issues?
You know, some belly buttons have any. So there's other parts of your body, also your butthole, any. Sometimes people have a penis. Ooh, that's any. But when it gets engorged.
But if you hold your nose holes and your butthole and blow really hard.
Oh, yeah. I'm a stallion at that point. Pop, boing, ding. Clowns are like, we can make a balloon animal out of that sucker.
You made me cry. Oh.
You're a weirdo.
You're a weirdo.
Just like Dennis. So I think we are in a place... So
Facebook and Instagram are removing posts offering abortion pills because that's the new movement, obviously. I think it's a Dutch doctor who, when this happened in her country, started offering, they actually have a ship where it's in international waters that provides abortion care. She also prescribes via teledoc abortion pill and then ships it to you. So that's happening. They said that Politico reported that searches for abortion medications have soared. This doctor recommended stocking up, whether you need it or not, for your friends,
We are literally headed towards Handmaid's Tale.
But they said that National Right to Life is now eyeing medication abortion restrictions as their next step in the post-Roe fight.
So McConnell was dead right. And he did everything he could to get enough people on the Supreme Court to get him what he wants. Here's the thing. They flipped it now. See, before, the side that was angry was the pro-life side. They were angry now because they flipped this. What they're doing is they're going the other way, and they're going to make the left, because the left, we wrote it's constitutional. We were like, there was an attitude about it. Now they're pissed.
Well, there have been attacks on pro-life clinics and stuff because now liberals are crazy and violent and dangerous.
Isn't it great that we all do the same shit, like eventually, depending on... So my question is this. in a country that's based on freedom, in a country that's based on the right to life, liberty, and happiness, fetus isn't viable till 20 weeks. And most places were 16 weeks, which is just barely enough time for a woman to notice. Gives why do you get to take my freedom away and your freedom away?
Well, that's the thing.
I just don't quite understand it. I'm like, what? But McConnell. Sorry, back to what I was saying. McConnell was dead right. If I get enough people on the Supreme Court, I can get what I want. And what it does is, it's not an issue, a day-to-day issue. People that get abortions don't want them. They're like, I have to. I can't raise this kid.
Yeah.
No one goes abortion high five. No one does that.
Plus, there's legitimate medical reasons to get them.
Oh, they were talking about some girl died. They were saying they had outlawed one of the country. There was a story on the news yesterday about a woman who had gone and she was having it and something went wrong. They made her keep it. It was Poland or something. I think it was Poland. They made her keep it. She died in childbirth. And it was they knew it was wrong, and she went sepsis. She got sepsis and she died. And
well, okay. So here's the other part that's really pisses me off is that we got a fucking heads up. We got a heads up about this. Somebody risked their career and maybe their life to get this out, and yet the fucking other branches didn't do shit.
Well, I'm not sure what they could do if it's just let's go to criminal mind. What could they do? They got the draft. I mean,
by criminal mind he means literally criminal mind.
Yeah. That's why.
Well, I thought we talked about this stacking the court, which has been done multiple times. Biden should have already been saying. Democrats should have already been saying when and why the court had more members on it, when and why it had less
got everybody
members
ready
on
for
it.
For the last 3 months.
We've done this throughout history. It's not a new thing. It's not crazy liberal idea. They should have been paving the way for that for the whole last year and a half.
Right.
Biden said he's not going to do it. He's not going to add justices. They're not going to be able to codify Roe, although Manchin said that he would vote for that. He said it now, right?
Yeah, but Manchin, I don't trust. So here's the problem with the filibuster and everything, and everybody runs scared. If they took the filibuster out, if they took it out, right, then either party has to do their fucking job. You have to come with good policies that make people want to vote for you. But because of the filibuster, they can just be the shittiest party ever. Like there's literally no GOP platform, and they can still stop any legislation by using the filibuster. Now on the other side, Democrats don't want to pull it because then what if we lose power? Well, why would you even operate from a negative all the time? You're always operating. I would say
the thing is, when they get in office, we're done. They already proved that they would do anything, illegal or not, and get away with it.
Yep.
So we're all still playing nice, and
that's what
what pisses me
and
off.
I'm not advocating doing anything illegal because we definitely don't want to sink to that level, but doing things that are within our power and within our legal rights, like
there's a
putting
lot of them.
3 more justices on the Supreme Court.
And why aren't we? And we're not doing that.
So all right, 3 more. Well, especially now because now we got what 3 or 4 that are young enough. They're going to be there for a couple of decades at least.
You got to stop and think about the fact that the dude that forever was the butt of everyone's jokes, like forever, the Vegas sleazebag, the porn
comedy,
star banging while his wives are pregnant,
right?
Roasted the boob, Donald the boob that everyone laughed at forever for being the cheeseball. Has stacked our Supreme. He chose 3 Supreme Court justices.
He was sent by Jesus, though.
That guy,
yeah,
the boob.
He was sent by Jesus.
The guy that pours champagne on the Mercedes emblem at the beginning of the porno he made. That guy. That's the guy that we put. Okay, just wanted to make sure we're all clear on that.
Guy who said he grabbed pussy on a bus.
Yes,
I just randomly grab pussy because they let you do it when you're famous.
The guy who has multiple credible sexual assault and rape
like to date
allegations
his
against him.
Paid off a porn star in the White House
with campaign donors' money.
Right. And then he started a Trump to stop the steal and didn't even start an account, and they raised $250 million.
That guy. That's the guy that chose 3 Supreme Court justices. The guy who doesn't even know the 3 branches of government.
Well, let's be honest. Mitch McConnell's a Sith Lord. He's just a Sith Lord. He's definitely Sith. The dude is just he basically stopped Obama from putting Merrick Garland on the Supreme Court. Nope, can't do it in the last year. Put Amy Coney Barrett on 6 weeks before 6 weeks. Before Trump was out of office.
It's hard to fight an entire group of people, an entire party that just cheats.
Doesn't give a shit.
Fucking cheats with every decision. So what are we left to do? We have to use every fucking legal thing we have.
As I said, following the rules won't fix this. But here's the thing. This is where we were talking a couple of years ago about how crazy those guys are talking about rebellion and blah, blah. And now that it's gone the other way, we're like, fucking rebellion. We're a little bit, but I think something's changed though. You took the beard off and I think something's changed.
I'm
You're
ready. I'm ready to put the tactical on.
Well, so you can't fight. No one can fight.
Yeah.
You can't grab your beard and yank your head around. I think we're in trouble. But they said that the polls are showing now because of this abortion thing that it looks like that at least the Democrats are going to pick up 2 seats in the Senate.
Well,
it's gone from
they
negative.
polled women, and I think it was 67% of women, which is a super majority, think that this ruling was wrong.
Yep.
So I would be interested to see how this does play out.
Wait, you don't like your rights taken away and your ability to make your own decision, even if you wouldn't even make that decision? But this is the slippery slope these fuckers have been talking about. You brought this up. This is the slippery slope they've been talking about. Yeah, then what? Well, you take my guns away, then what? Well, take women's right to their bodies away. Then
well,
what?
it was Clarence Thomas said it in his decision. He said that we now need to revisit, and he named the 2 cases. And if
Gay
you look up
marriage.
what the 2 cases were, it was gay marriage and birth control. So explain to me what the thin thread is for them on birth control. Explain that to me.
Because that's basically pre-birth,
It's
pre-inception.
a miniature abortion. It's abortion.
No, it's not an abortion.
I know, but
because
from
it never.
morning after pill. See, they say that they're saying right now that life begins at conception.
Okay, but if you have birth
Egg,
control,
boom,
there's
life.
no conception. That's what I'm saying.
Birth control,
Because there are
right.
some states that are directly referencing IUDs, and I have a family member who has an IUD who serves our country.
So my question is this.
And let me just say that really quickly, because this family member that I'm talking about that serves our country has made a very good point that service women do not get a choice what state they live in.
Oh.
So they can just send them anywhere.
And so in a group
all right, everybody, chick.
where rape is rampant and not being dealt with and being swept under the rug to the point where several female congresswomen are trying to get legislation passed. Women are being raped in the military and they don't get a choice about what state they live in. I mean, and these are the people that are serving our country. She actually said to me, so I can carry a gun, but I can't choose what to do with my own body.
Right.
Especially if I was
I can
raped.
put my body in front of a bullet for the country, but I can't decide what to do with I don't get it. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. You remember Scalia? Scalia was doing well. Scalia was having a good life. He had already passed Citizens United. It was a horrible decision, which ruined the country to another degree. And then he died of a heart attack. So all I'm saying is this. Maybe Clarence.
Nope.
We got a long way to wait.
For Thomas, we got a long way to
This episode has been brought to you by
unless Jenny kills him.
Trough Hot Sauce.
Yay!
We actually, what did you say about Trough Hot Sauce last night? You related it to the emergency hearing that we had this week, where Cassidy, what's her name? That was the White House aide. Testified, and she testified that Trump, in some kind of temper tantrum, threw his lunch tray against the wall in the dining room,
in the White House dining room. The dude defaced the White House by throwing food.
I'm so surprised that someone like that threw a tantrum. Aren't you guys surprised? And she never says, I don't think she said what he was eating, but we know what he was eating because she said, and ketchup went everywhere. I helped clean it off the wall. And he's eating a hamburger. We know he's eating hamburgers. But you were offended. You go, the president of the United States flings his lunch and it's ketchup everywhere? At least if it were Truff.
I'd have a little
At least. Truffle hot sauce. That's one thing. And I was like, okay, he was offended.
But he's such a low rent dude, man. If he got some Truff, I'd be like, you know what? Let me consider some things.
I don't think he has elevated taste in any way.
Right.
I honestly say I have Truff almost every night now. Like
My sister had it on fries the other night.
I almost put it on.
Is she a Democrat now?
I'm working on it.
Oh,
working on it. Yeah, I'm really trying.
Truff can do the trick.
Really trying.
The best hot sauce I've ever had, and I'm going through my little bottles of white Truff pretty quick. Yeah.
Hint, hint, hint.
Get those fingers typing.
What's your favorite?
Between the white and the black, normal hot, but then the hotter gets to a place where my
The hotter
face
white?
goes numb. The hotter white's pretty good. But then they keep adding a hotter level, and at one point my skin just is like, no. Do you know where you're from? Why don't you do a 23andMe thing to see that you can't have this? It's too hot. Some of it's great, but it always.
My sister yesterday when we were leaving, she said to her husband, I said, there's sandwich stuff in the fridge. And she goes, oh, babe, you love her sandwich stuff. Remember the mayonnaise? And I was like, oh, yeah. We have both kinds of the Truff mayonnaise on the door. And that's what he had for lunch. But they were like, oh, shit. I'm like, you can buy this for your own house. It's not just special to mine.
All I see is this. Everything I put Truff on elevates its taste. You know, too. Everything.
Yeah.
Make something that's good food, put Truff on it, takes it to restaurant level to me. You're like, whoa. Like I always bite, look. Like, you know,
Instant chef.
Yeah,
it's really, especially if you have it on something and then try that thing without it, like the fries we had. Boring. It's like,
Yeah, we do it on fries now all the time, though.
Oh, yeah, that's our special thing. Like a couple of big kids, we sit every Monday night. So also they have truffle oil, which is awesome on any kind of pasta with fresh ground salt and pepper. So good.
Pasta sauce, too.
Little Parmesan. They have pasta sauce. Yeah. They have gift sets. They've got all kinds of stuff. They've got bundles. You got to just go check out their website because they've added new stuff. #1 best-selling sauce on Amazon and at Whole Foods, where you can get it as well. You can get 15% off site-wide plus free shipping with promo code Titus at Trough.com. That's 15% off of anything that you get, the bundles, whatever, at Trough, TRUFF as in fire.com, promo code Titus.
No one's even playing their game.
Not even close. You said that the other day. You said, I was never a hot sauce guy. He never was. For the first 14 years I knew you never needed something to put on anything. No. And now every meal we get, you start like rummaging. Like, so try it.
Cookouts are coming, people. Get that Truff. Get it on your burgers.
Put it on burgers. Put it on
hot dogs.
Hot wings.
Hot wings, yeah.
Actually use that
sauce,
with Truff. A restaurant should serve those Truff hot sauce hot wings.
They should do it like a tour thing. They should actually sponsor so it's on the table do table tents. Let's market for this company.
Hi, Truff. Give us a call.
We'll have them sponsor our next comedy tour.
There you go.
In the fall.
We'll serve hot wings.
There you go. Hot sauce. We'll have like you guys did with when you worked for
Red Bull. He can be a Truff girl.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not gonna be a Truff girl. We'll just do the show and we'll have the Truff people hang out in little bottles to everybody.
You gotta wear short shorts. That's what we did.
I will definitely wear short shorts. Okay. Yeah, because I've been riding the bike a lot.
Hey.
My butt has started to climb my back. All right. Yeah. My hiney hole is higher. By the way, it's like a hiney hole. It's not the correct term.
What is it?
I don't know.
It's the sphincter.
Oh no!
Yeah. All right. So last time I tried to say that, I pulled a vocal cord.
Pulled a glue.
Here we go. Sphincter. Okay, it's better. I had to work really hard on it. You guys may have noticed or not. I hide it so well. I have a slight speech impediment.
Oh,
sphincter.
No, I didn't notice at all.
Well, sometimes I lisp a tiny bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you hide it really well.
So I don't know how this changes. So the Supreme Court has ruled they can't bring. So maybe you can explain this to me, Ray. You criminal justice major, minor. Explain to me, how can they get this back if they've already? Because doesn't it violate the 14th Amendment? I mean, couldn't someone file a case right now? In fact, in Utah,
sure they are.
And Utah got stopped. Well, and what they really did was this: they went, okay, there's no federal mandate. We're going to give it back to the states.
I did see a conservative saying, in case you need, I don't know who needs to hear this. I hate when people start posts like that. Like, just knock it off.
Yeah.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but Roe was never a constitutional right. So they're saying that it was reinterpreted under an amendment, but then why did it get reaffirmed so many times? Right. And if you go back and look at who voted it in, it was conservative judges.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you also go back and look at the history of Roe, because humans are idiots and we're destined to repeat the same mistakes. We were just talking about this.
Over and over. If you know history, you won't be as stupid.
The leader of the Southern Baptist Convention at that time that this was happening came out in support of Roe v. Wade. A lot of people that you would not expect who saw the danger, saw what was happening, saw the deaths, and realized that there needed to be an alternative to protect women's lives as well. And so it's weird how now those people don't even know that history, and we're right back where we started.
Right.
Well, again, that's the minority. The majority of this country agrees that Roe v. Wade should have been upheld. It should have never been overturned. And here we are. So we need to Biden needs to fucking step up and come out swinging with whatever he's got, executive orders, something.
Yeah, it's the same shit that the Taliban and ISIS does, though. Like, it's the same shit. Like all the ayatollahs will and they'll just pass a law that women have to wear. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
Now women don't have, and they can get, and if you go out of state, if you're pregnant, go out of state and you come back and you're not pregnant anymore, they can charge you.
Well, I just saw a story, I think it was on CNN, that said that Cash App payment history is going to be used as a piece of evidence against women. Claire McCaskill.
Yeah, you said it. That's right.
McCaskill. She was on the other day and she was talking about her daughter. She said both of her daughters called her crying. One of her daughters had a miscarriage, and it was dead inside of her. And so they gave her the pill to go home. And she said that in Missouri, under this new legislation, they would have the right. It's a crime to come into her daughter's home and demand evidence, to go to that doctor's office and demand evidence to make sure that that's really what happened. So, yeah, it's kind of
so that's dystopian. The cops can now come into your house and make sure you didn't get rid of the baby on purpose
with something that was legal last week.
Exactly. We're losing our country. So here's what I think is going to happen, and I need everyone to listen. What we need to do is, and we've seen it now. We've seen it over how many administrations? Okay, the Democrats want to get you health care. They want to get you a higher minimum wage. They want to get you unions. They want to get you. And by the way, and gross domestic product does better under Democrats every time. I make more money every time. I look at my taxes. Every time we have a Democratic president, I make more money. People have more money, so they come to shows more, so they go see. So you got to vote Democrat. And the only reason I'm saying it is because the Republican Party is no longer the Republican Party of Eisenhower. It is no longer the Republican Party of even Reagan. It is this insane, I mean, and I hate this word fascist because I sound like the hippie guy in Forrest Gump. That was it.
Yeah.
But it's this.
You're right. It's far. They're far right now.
They want to go into your house and check your vagina to make sure that, I'm sorry, what? So the only way this changes is if we body slam them so hard in the midterms where they go, holy crap, we lost 11 seats. We lost 11 seats in the Senate. We lost 25 seats in the House. At that point, they're going to have to come up with some new ideas because all they're doing is taking away the freedoms the whole country's based on freedom, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and they're just shaving it away for just what they like. And who's the first politician that actually lets his mistress have an abortion? Who's the first Republican you'd call on it?
Now or who has
I was
already?
going to say, that was my same question.
I mean, this is a
thing, right?
Whomever knew Ivanka in college has outed her, which I don't agree with either. With the right to privacy. Yeah. There's also Doug Ducey's son made a girl take the morning after pill. There's a bunch of people kind of outing people, which I don't love, but the point being that you're a hypocrite.
Is this one of those caught the car things? They've been bitching about it for so long. Now it's finally happened. They're like, oh shit. Because I think they screwed themselves.
The Roe v. Wade was affirmed by 7 justices.
Right.
It's just kind of crazy to me.
How mad are you about it?
Here's the thing. I said this last time we talked about this, that I'm really tired of seeing ED commercials. A pill because your wiener won't work anymore. And we got an email from a guy that was so offended because he needs the ED pill to, because he's got health problems and whatever. And I really think that the point just flew right over his head. Right. That's what we're saying. If you're saying that a woman gets pregnant by anyone, including a rapist or her family member or a guy she doesn't want to have a baby with, that's God's will, she should have to have that baby. I'm saying if you have a limp wiener, that's God's will. right? If that's what we're going to say. And what you're missing, sir, who wrote the email, is that our point being that it shouldn't, neither of those should be anybody's business.
Right.
My point is that I'm drawing a correlation between the two and saying that's the same thing, and yet we're not doing anything about the male side of it.
If there was a law that came out that said everybody who actually got a prescription for the ED pill, the government has every right to see how you're using that. Are you creating babies? Because if you're not,
isn't he proliferating abortion by doing that? So he can have sex. Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's trying to procreate the species. But we should have to keep a schedule of that. Are you just hooking up, or are you actually making sure that you're making babies?
Well, maybe we should go into his home to double check.
That's what I'm saying. Anybody who has a Viagra prescription needs to be tracked by the police, just like women who are pregnant.
We don't want faulty penis men walking around the earth.
If your penis doesn't work, we don't want you making weaker humans. Come on, man. I think the Supreme Court needs it that way. That if I was just a ridiculous billionaire, I would just start filing crazy.
And that's our point.
That
is our point.
Right.
That guy totally missed.
I have a team of lawyers.
We're just asking you to see how it's so one-sided, and it always has been. And
but here's the thing, though. But do you understand that men just accept that with women? We just accept it.
Yes.
We all go, oh yeah, well, they're killing babies. No, they're not. You moron. And by the way, the baby's only there because some dude didn't pull out or didn't wear a condom.
No. It's the woman's fault.
No,
it's the woman.
Not.
She should either abstain completely. The males don't have to, but the woman should. She made this happen.
Well, this is no surprise. The women were just allowed to leave the house.
Weird to hear you. So he's really down.
Yeah, I'm really
upset.
But
why?
Really.
But in the middle, that's what I'm saying. ISIS and those guys, like in the Middle East, they can't drive. They have to wear a mask over their faces. Like this is they're and some of those countries are like, what is this? Of course, can't have the abortion. You got to have the people. Got to make many people.
Yeah, they need more people. They need more. ISIS's.
This episode.
That is plural.
This episode
ISIS's.
Brought to you. That's what the guy at Hugo's asked if we want in our tea.
You want ISIS's in this?
This episode brought to you by Feels, because you're going to need it now. Why? Because Feels naturally helps reduce stress, anxiety, pain, and sleeplessness, which I've been having all of.
The CBD oil for me takes me down just to where I'm tolerable.
But you only use it at night. Maybe
right.
I'm lobbying for you to use it during the day too. As soon as you wake up.
Feel hey.
Yeah, man. All right. If you don't know what CBD oil is, you should. It's excellent stuff. Definitely something you need in your nightstand. They have a free hotline that you can call to ask questions, and I love that. It's a natural way to feel better, so you're not going to have a hangover or an addiction. All you do is you just it's in a little dropper, you put a couple drops under your tongue and feel the difference within minutes. And like we've said before, it's
just
not
a
like
calm.
yes, you have to check in with yourself and go, I do feel
not.
Better.
Yeah. I noticed that 20 minutes and I'm like this. Oh, no! It's the anxiety that I sometimes walk the earth with. Living in the society we currently living in helps me tremendously.
It also helps you have like a clear-headed feeling, which is something I don't always have. Definitely helps me sleep. That's my number one side effect of it that I love.
And a sense of well-being, yes.
Just a calm.
I would agree with that. I like that.
It slows down my brain chatter a little bit. No,
sense of well-being.
Also, you don't have to leave your house. It's delivered directly to your door, which you guys know I'm a huge fan of. It's definitely helped. I've said this before, but my mom, when she was sick, she used this every day.
Yep.
It made a huge difference for her. So you can start feeling better with Feels. You become a member today by going to feels.com/Titus, and you'll get 50% off your first order and free shipping. That's FEALS.com/Titus to become a member and get 50% automatically taken off your first order with free shipping. Feels.com/Titus. And I love the mints. Those are great for on the go.
The mints, yeah. I think the mints and way more convenient.
Very convenient, and I use them for travel because it's not liquid, so I don't have to answer for anything. I just eat a mint before I get on a plane because I still have the worst travel anxiety, even though I've been doing it
13, 14 years now.
I was doing it when I met you.
Oh, that's right. You were traveling because of the clubs.
I was living on the road, and I still am like, I can't go.
I did this up last week. You've just finally accepted. You still really haven't accepted that you're a
I don't know
professional
why
comedian.
you continually feel the need to bring things up that we talk about. But if you ever just zipped it, just in your life
not
ever
zipping
just
it.
zipped it,
I've
it would be
never
awesome.
zipped.
By
I've
the
never
way,
zipped.
review Alpha Chick on Amazon.
Guys, do me a favor. Rachel's special came out. She's absolutely right. Go to Amazon Prime. Hit Alpha Chick, Rachel Bradley. People, please review the special. It is so good. Two stories. Rocket Club and O-Face are I just love. I mean, the whole special's great, but man, you know.
And if you come to Scotland to the Fringe Festival, you'll see a completely different show.
For both of us, yeah.
Yep. I have complained before that our manager uses the word monies like all the time. So I was trying to explain Venmo to him, and he was like, I know what I'm doing. I'll figure it out. And I was like, okay. And so he's requesting money from us for Scotland for publicity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Street teams.
Won't let me pitch in to help. We get a Venmo request. And it's like, Rick Siegel, that's our manager, is requesting $5,200. And then the next one cancels it. I'm just using random numbers. I like that you think I'm going to say the number. Then Rick Siegel cancels Venmo request for $5,200. Then the next email, Rick Siegel requests $1,000. Then the next email, Rick Siegel has paid you $2,600. He paid us.
Well, it's multiple monies.
And at one point, I was like, "All right, this is working out."
He paid us.
He knows exactly how to use Venmo.
If we just leave him alone,
Rick, my Venmo
our income is gonna fly.
So
now that's a manager.
So he said, and every Venmo request had the word monies 3 times. Monies. So today he sent us an email that said, thanks, monies on the way to Scotland. I said back, I officially hate the word monies. And he just sent back, I've sent the green to the old country. And I feel like I just won something.
Yeah, you did good. Well, I'm glad. But that's a real manager. All right, if that annoys her, jeez.
Comics are crazy. All right.
Look it up. Monies. Is that like an English use of
it's
it?
just, it's
like
proper,
a contract
but
term,
it's like an,
right?
yeah, it's often used in legal ease, but
Look
it's,
how smart I am. The monies will be transferred to the account
but it
as per
it all.
But nobody uses it anymore.
Yeah.
It sounds like I don't
You're a
know. I hate
barrister.
that
You're
word.
basically.
I hate that word. I hate engorged and I hate the M word. Add them all. But now he's saying the green, which I like.
That's better.
I've cooled our manager up a little
You
bit.
have cooled him up a little tiny bit, yeah.
And we gave his monies back.
I'll be sending these fat stacks to Scotland. There you go. That's how you want to do it.
What do you
We had the big testimony yesterday.
This was what I was going to ask about.
Yeah, this was pretty cool. So, what's her name?
Cassidy
Hutchinson came in, and she was basically Mark Meadows' assistant, and was out right there when all this stuff happened. Although there is some dispute over what happened in the SUV that Trump was in.
Explain that.
So they basically, as the riot at the Capitol was going on, this is her testimony. They got Trump in the car, and Trump goes, "I want to go to the Capitol," and the guy said, "No, there's people out there with weapons, and it's dangerous." And he said, "I want to go," and he said, "No, sir, we're going back to the residence." And I guess they said Trump reached for the wheel, grabbed the wheel. And he's like, "Sir, get off the wheel." And then with his other hand, he put the hand on the guy's throat. That's what Cassidy heard from a guy that was supposedly in the car. Well, the Secret Service has come out and said that's not what happened.
Which is so weird.
But why would that?
And she didn't say she saw it. She said that's what was relayed to her as soon as she got back to the White House. And the Secret Service guy who it happened to was sitting there in the room.
And didn't deny it.
And
and didn't say that's not what happened.
That she's testified that that's what she was told happened. But either way, what we do know is that Trump was desperate to get to the Capitol that day.
And this
so
is
explain that to me. We now know from her testimony and other people's that Trump knew that people in that crowd on the ellipse were armed.
I was going to mention that, and he wanted to take down the
mags.
metal
He told
detectors.
him. Yeah, he said get rid of the magnetometers
to let them in so that they can march to the Capitol.
Well, but also because he didn't think the crowd was big enough. Like this dude, how
That's
small
why he was
must
mad.
this dude be that he is like that the crowd is not big enough. Take down the one things that make sure that nobody with AR-15s gets near the president. Take that and Mo Brooks. That's why Mo Brooks was head of the vest. He's like, this guy's a moron. I'm gonna get shot if this. So Trump wanted to let everybody with weapons in. Then they said at one point the guy said, Trump, you can't go to the thing. There's people with weapons there. And he said, they're not for me.
They're not going to hurt me.
They're not going to hurt me.
They're not here to hurt me.
So he was fine with them
So
possibly going to shoot somebody
combine
else.
all those things. We know we now have the National Archives has released photos, and we have Capitol Police Radio, where they are identifying people in the trees and various places and what they're armed with. AR-15 was among many weapons that they listed.
Yep.
Spears, flagpoles with spears on the end.
Bear spray.
Truck bumpers.
Yeah, they had everything.
So, and he's mad because he wants it to be full. And the National Archives released a photo of him 3 minutes before he walked on stage, looking at the monitor showing the crowd size, looking pissed. So he wants them in so that they can march to the Capitol with those weapons, says they're not here to hurt me, and then is demanding and was demanding for 2 weeks that he go to the Capitol. So think about that. A president that didn't get reelected wants to go to the Capitol during the certification.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Because here's why.
And with the people that are armed.
And here's why. Here's what Trump knows. Say what you will about Trump. Trump is street smart in a weird way. So he have all these yahoos going to the Capitol, right? And we watched it live on television when it was happening, and it was pretty obvious they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were just roaming around.
Yeah.
They had a guy with
Pooping.
hats on, pooping on the walls. They're like, what do we do? Shit on the walls. Okay. Hey, someone has a plan. So they obviously weren't ready. So Trump knew he needed to be there to guide them. Now, had Trump got there, what would he have done? Kill Mike Pence? Would he have done Pelosi? That's another thing he said about Mike Pence. He deserved it. They said they're chanting hang Mike Pence.
Mike earned this.
Yeah. He said, well, Mike earned that.
How is this guy still free? Still free.
And more than that, still the Republican choice for nominee.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, why would you vote for any group of people that thought that's the guy? Listen, if the Republican Party came out and went, guys, we got way off track. This crazy 6-time bankrupt, pussy-grabbing, daughter-wanting to date psychopath, we were wrong. We're going to go back to our normal guys, Romney, whoever.
That's what I would have respect for that.
You'd go, okay, well, they're trying to turn the ship.
We're going to disagree, but at least we'll disagree like civil, normal people.
Cheney, even like Cheney, I don't agree with Cheney on anything, but she's at least cares about America first. And so what would happen was if let's say I didn't vote for him, but she got elected, Liz Cheney or Romney, at least I would go, okay, that they understand America and democracy. Okay, I'm not going to be happy with everything they do, but with Trump, he's just going to roll over. We're repeating what Hitler did. Hitler did Beerhard Putsch. He did that. He got put in jail for 5 years, and when he came back, he just and now
had a lot of time to think.
Yes, but now we've got all these Secretary of States getting elected.
But here's the other thing: you have to think about the fact that we now know that Trump knew that they were armed, and now think about what he walked out on stage and said to those people:
right,
"You're going to fight like hell, and I'm going to be with you."
Yep.
So we're going to fight like hell.
But someone said that
trial by combat.
But somebody, Giuliani,
right?
Somebody said.
What did Mo Brooks say?
Mo Brooks said, "It's time to start kicking ass and taking names."
So those are the 3 people that spoke that had.
What more do you need?
Yeah, but someone said on the way over, I was listening, and they said it's just a First Amendment issue. He goes, they have a First Amendment argument. They can say whatever they want. But isn't that on the day of certification and a mob heading towards the Capitol, isn't that the same thing as fire in a crowded
Well, that would
theater?
be dereliction of duty.
Right. Well,
because the president is required to uphold certain standards in the best interest of the country and protecting his people.
So what happens?
His attorney, Eric Hirschman, actually told him that tried to get him to remove some of those lines from his speech.
And he wouldn't.
Saying the optics would be bad considering what they knew was going on, but also that he knew that there could be a legal issue. And she also testified that Pat Cipollini, his other attorney, came in and said they're going to throw every statute, they're going to charge us with every crime possible after this.
If you go to the Capitol, because then it shows he went to help.
Yes.
So my question is this: why I keep hearing all these stupid pundits, and I wish the news would just be the fucking news and stop talking about, like, look, our job is to talk about it.
And make
Just
jokes
right,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
stop
yeah.
writing us messages like, that's actually not correct. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we don't
we're a
do- yeah.
comedy podcast. It's a, we're
Yeah, exactly.
we're just
do
idiots.
not come to us for, for the
And we're being, it's
trying to make- we're
irony, sarcasm.
jokes about it.
Yeah,
Satire.
satire.
Yeah.
It's not like all real. Get it? Hey. No? Okay.
sometimes we're dumb.
Because the world feels like it's burning down, this episode brought to you by Solo Stove,
Oh,
which we now, because my sister and her husband were coming out, my
Mhm.
surgery is in 2 days.
s'mores.
We bought all this stuff for s'mores.
Mhm. Oh, that's
You had a crap ton of wood delivered to the cabin because,
I buy some
you
more.
know, everything's falling to shit.
Right, because World War III is
And-
coming.
So he
Uh-oh.
brought some of that wood home for our Solo Stove, so that we could make s'mores and pretend that everything's not falling
Smokeless,
apart.
keeps the ash down. I was looking at it the other day on how it's built. It's amazing. I love when someone takes something so simple as a fire pit and makes it entirely high tech. So
Yeah.
even the underside of it, to where it draws in air, it goes up the sides. There's holes on the inside, so it gets. That's the one thing of starting a fire. Starting a fire is a bitch, and keeping it going is a bitch, especially if it's in a pit and it's hidden.
Mhm.
Well, the way that the airflow around this, it keeps burning.
It's stainless steel construction. You can actually move it. That's the other thing that I loved about it when I first said I wanted to work with these people
Not
and
when it-
didn't talk to you about it because I was like, we need this for Armageddon. It's portable, so you can pick it up and put it in the back of your car or your truck or whatever and take it with you. The stainless steel construction is designed to regulate airflow and to burn more efficiently. And so there's going to be so little smoke, you'll keep thinking the fire's going out, and it's not. It's actually, that's the design. It's pretty amazing, and you won't stink.
That's what I was looking at. That's what I was looking at.
If you've lived in the South and you've done bonfires on Saturday, you know how bad your clothes smell the next day. It's insane. Also, for July 4th coming up
Yep.
next, is that this? Oh, it's this Monday, right? Yeah, it is. Because this weekend is Friday's July 1st.
30. Yep.
That's my surgery. Then 3 days, then
Yep.
July 4th.
Yep.
So I'll be out there just sadly with a stick over the Solo Stove. It'll be the only joy I have left. Also, hopefully I'll be really high on painkillers. Right now, you can get huge discounts on all fire pits during Solo Stove's 4th of July sale. What do you know? Use promo code Titus at solostove.com for an extra $10 off of the sale. So it's killer prices. Solostove.com. Promo code Titus for $10 off on top of their incredible 4th of July sale discounts. But hurry, because the July 4th sale ends July 10th.
We'll give you a s'more update.
We will give you a s'more update. I'm very excited about this.
See, that's the thing. It's like the Solo Stove, right? It's taking an old idea,
right,
and
Improving on it.
and
Yep.
improving on it, making progress on it. So, isn't in the South and in these super religious states, they have technology and things that have been moved forward.
It's the devil's work.
Is it?
It's the
But they drove to their churches.
Well, this is the first time someone said about the abortion thing. Someone said this is the first time in modern history that we've taken rights away.
Yeah,
Like, it's
In our
usually the-
lifetimes,
So
we've
the
never
Supreme
had
Court
rights.
is
to move.
supposed to look at the rules,
right,
and interpret them in the modern, take a modern view at them, and
Right.
reinterpret them.
No, but the
and
originals.
apply give us some new rights.
But they keep talking about
This
originals.
is what it was about all along, by
Right.
the way. This is what they've been. This is what
For 40
Trump was
years.
about.
Yeah.
This is why they love him, because he didn't just stack the Supreme Court. He stacked a lot of lower courts too.
Yeah, we're one of two things are gonna happen. If you guys don't get out and vote, what'll happen is, and these Trump people get in, it's just gonna. You want how many more Boberts and Greens and Cruzes do you want?
Boebert just won her primary.
No one's running against her, right?
I
think
don't
anyone's
know.
running
I
against her.
don't know, but I just heard she won her primary, and I was like, really? How does somebody, if they didn't run against her, how does somebody not run against her?
Right.
The Shooters Bar and Grill GED.
When I heard that Lauren Boebert won her primary, I thought, oh, Americans are as stupid as she is. If actually voting for her makes you stupider.
And more stupid.
Stupider's a word.
I know, but it was only added because people were stupider.
like ain't. Wasn't that originally?
Yeah, but
It's like fort and forte.
This
They
goes right to
finally
you said
added
about-
that pronunciation.
This is what you said about progress. So my words are getting freer too. I can say stupid.
Your words are progressive.
I can say it,
will
right,
say.
yeah, yeah, so-
I
Good
will
point. So-
say your words are progressive.
And yet, so the originalists, they keep talking about the Constitution. We're the originalists. Well, even Thomas Jefferson said it's engraved in stone. The Constitution is a living document and is meant to be changed as times change. And these fuckers, I'm an originalist. No, you just want to control women black people and minorities, and you want to make sure the white hierarchy stays
Technically, the Constitution only guarantees that you can own a musket.
Right.
They never saw.
Well, let's
ARs,
go originalist. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Oh,
handguns.
Can you imagine what they would have thought if they'd seen the AR-15s? They'd been like, this is not what we
They
meant at
should
all.
not. Whoa.
Like, what is
this
that?
is a problem.
Spaceship?
Yeah. We escaped tyranny.
We need to outlaw rockets too. You're right. Going to space, we need to outlaw it. Why? Because it's not in the Constitution. It's man's not supposed
Dishwashers.
to fly.
They would be befuddled by a dishwasher.
Yeah.
But and they owned people. That's who we're listening.
Well, they were all inventors. They saw where it was going, but they actually would have no. I think there's another quote John Adams made. They have no idea where technology was going to go, so they can't possibly make laws 200 years from now.
That's why it was a living document. That's why we were supposed to take those ideals and build on them as a foundation.
And we did not. We actually keep going backwards.
Well, I didn't.
The irony of a black man taking away women's rights after our history is pretty funny.
I know that's.
You notice that he didn't list the Supreme Court case that he wants to revisit about interracial marriages.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
He listed the other two, but not that
gay
one.
marriage, but not
Convenient.
interracial marriage.
So personal agenda, religious beliefs,
separation of church. Marjorie Taylor Greene came out. No, Boebert came out and said this separation of church and state baloney.
Baloney.
Yeah.
She's an idiot.
It's not even. It's not even in the Constitution.
We can do better. That's all we're saying. Vote if you aren't registered to vote because you think it doesn't make a difference. We can do better. Vote. Vote.
Vote. You guys got to vote.
Vote. Get everyone you know registered
to vote.
Go.
Me and Hylinder are going to keep talking for a minute.
You are?
Yeah. Because you're leaving early.
Okay.
have to do an hour.
We have done an hour. I was watching the
Did
clock.
you time it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
And that doesn't include your Armageddon
and now
update.
it's Hylinder's Fun Facts. Hylinder's Fun Facts. Ooh. That was fun.
Speaking of old laws,
We weren't.
the Queen owns all the swans in England.
All of them?
Yes.
She owns them?
Owns them. The ones in England.
Everyone?
Wow.
Why?
According to British law, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
According to British law, any unclaimed swan swimming in the open waters of England and Wales belongs to the Queen. The law originated in medieval times when swans were a delicacy for the wealthy, but it still stands today. Queen Elizabeth also upholds a centuries-old tradition with the swans. Every year during the third week of July, all the swans in the river Thames
Run from her.
right, exactly. They haven't learned. No. Are counted for the Queen.
Wow.
Still?
Yep.
So there's swan
That's what your
slavery.
tax dollars are going
Swan
to.
slavery in England.
That's awesome.
I own all these swans.
What does a swan sound like? I don't know. I did a chicken. That was a chicken. What does a swan sound like? No, that's a dolphin.
No, they do like a hissing sound.
Do dolphin.
I refuse.
Hold on.
I will never do it. And I will not do it off again.
Let's find out. What does a swan sound like? All right, let's see.
All right. Strangled.
I'm very curious about this. Oh, they honk. That's right. They honk.
That's a clown. That's not
That's
a
a
swan.
that's a clown one. That's a bike horn.
Oh, God, yeah. They sound like a bike horn? That's awesome.
All right. That's what you're
That
welcome.
might have been
You're
a swan
welcome.
orgasm.
No.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please go to ChristopherTitus.com. Do me a favor, go to Amazon Prime and watch Alpha Check and review it. We want to hear what you think about it. I will be at Tommy T's next weekend. Come see me do 4 shows, Carrying Monsters, and that's it. And anything else you want to talk about? Oh, T-shirts. There's 2 T-shirts. There's going to be
new
t-shirts.
merch coming.
Yep, new merch coming. Shirts that say "Don't be stupid," and the other one says
"Scream Sanity."
Scream Sanity, or
stupid wins,
or
like it's
stupid-
winning now.
Yeah. So guys, stay with us. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. For myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray and the Hylinder. Later.
Peace out.
One.